There is one thing that you need to understand that will shift your perspective and allow you to bring those new habits in, and that be your new normal. Listen, your ego, your mind, the fear will do everything in its power to avoid discomfort, to avoid you being uncomfortable, okay? And so think of it as a little child who throws a tantrum at you and who's like, no, I don't want to do this. And you're the adult, you're running the show now. The person who you choose to be is running the show now. And so you can catch yourself in those moments when you're going back, and you can actually decide, no, I choose to be something else and change, do something different. Break the pattern. It's okay if you go back, but then you need to realize who you really are and to remember that. And the more you do it, the more you reinforce that new version of you, the more easy it's going to be for you to live that new narrative, that new reality that you want to do, that you want to have, and to reinforce those new habits in your life. Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jane, and today I'm going to teach you how to replace bad habits with good habits and how to actually stop the bad habits forever. So has this happened to you when you want to take on a new habit, let's say going to the gym, eating healthier, but you end up going back to old patterns of eating out, not paying attention to what you eat, not going to the gym, prioritizing something else, something comes up and you go back to your old self, but you've promised yourself or you've decided that you won't do it anymore, and that creates frustration. Or choosing to not be part of an unhealthy or toxic relationship, yet you enter unhealthy relationships and you repeat the same patterns over and over and over in your relationships, even if you know it's not good for you. Have you had that happen as well? If you go back to things that you know are not good for you, and you still go and you still do those things, it's normal. It's completely normal because it's what you've been used to, and that's all you know, right? And what brings us safety and familiarity is what we tend to go to. Even if we know that consciously those things are not healthy for us, we tend to go back to what feels safe. So, for example, if you've been used to people treating you like, and that's been your reality, that feels safe for you. Even though they don't respect you and you feel disrespected, that also feels safe. So us humans, we're always gonna go to what feels familiar and to what feels safe. So if you go back to those things, it's because they feel safe to you. You're actually getting something from those bad habits, from those unhealthy things. You're getting your needs met. And this is the thing that you need to understand. If you get your needs for safety, for validation, for love met with something else, you won't go back to what's unhealthy for you because your needs are already being met, right? This is just a matter of needs. We all have needs for safety, for love, for comfort, for validation. Those are the basic needs. And so how are we getting those needs met is the question. How are you getting those needs for safety met? For example, if you're someone who finds safety in looking at your partner's phone behind their back, and you know that's unhealthy, and you know that this is not you anymore, and you want to change that, you need to ask yourself, what am I getting from this? You know, you're getting security, you're getting safety. How can you change that and get your need for safety and security met with your partner differently? What else can bring you that safety that is not a toxic pattern or an unhealthy pattern? If you are used to scrolling on social media or watching too much TV, but instead you know that this is not good for you, this is distracting you, and instead you want to read or to go to sleep on time, you need to ask yourself, what am I getting from this? Am I getting distraction? Am I getting safety? What's the need that is behind that habit? And how can you meet that need once you know what it is with something else? Can you read a book instead? Can you do something creative? Can you cook? Can you do something that will add up to your long-term goals? Because this is the thing. You need to think about your long-term happiness, right? And so maybe that thing that you used to do, for example, watching too much TV or going on social media, you need to ask yourself, is that a good thing for my long-term goals? The thing is, you need to understand and to decide what your goals are. What's your long-term goal? What's your desire, your ultimate desire? What is the life that you want? You need to decide that, and you need to decide also what are the habits that align with that new version of you, with those goals and long-term happiness, right? So imagine that one of your habits that you want to change is being a people pleaser, not saying no to people when you want to, right? You need to understand what's the need behind that. Perhaps it's the need of being validated, or of being loved or appreciated, or perhaps it's the need of avoiding rejection. Okay, so how can you, now that you know what your needs are of love, of validation, how can you show up in a way that honors what you want, what you need from the inside? Because let me tell you, people who love you will understand your no. People who don't love you and are getting stuff from you will not understand that no. But that's not your job, it's their perspective. So now that you know that you have this need of being loved, of belonging, how can you say no in a way that feels true to you? So perhaps you can say, no thank you, we can do something else, or no thank you, this doesn't align with me anymore, and be true to that version of you. Okay, your new habits are going to become part of your life when there is repetition. The more you repeat something, the more it will become natural for you. Who you are right now is a buildup of all the things that you have repeated throughout your life. All the beliefs that you have repeated yourself over and over and over are running in the background. Okay, so if you want to change your habits, you need to change those beliefs and also what's the need behind. Because if you cut off the need with something else that is healthier, then you won't go back to those things. With repetition, your new habits become your new normal. Every time that you go back to an old habit, you need to remember who you choose to be. And you will see that with time, those old things that you used to do, they don't feel as good. It doesn't feel as great because it doesn't meet your need anymore. It's just a matter of getting used to something else, to something new. Okay, it does take time, it does take practice, it does take training of yourself, of your mind, of your body, of your emotions, but you can get there. You can change anything in your life. So once you understand what are your needs behind your habits, you can meet your needs with other things so that your habits change. The things that are on autopilot, that you keep repeating, all those patterns that are negative and that you keep repeating, it's not your fault. Okay? It's the default programming that you have. And you can choose. Your identity is flexible. Your reality is flexible. And with repetition and with remembering who you are and who you are now and who you choose to be, that's how you shift. It's in the little steps, in the little tiny moments that you're like, I'm not gonna eat at McDonald's today. I'm gonna cook at home. I am going to wake up early and exercise today. I'm not going to stay in bed. It's all these micro shifts that will reinforce those new habits, and over with repetition, it won't be an effort to you anymore. At first, it's an effort because you're changing, because you're choosing to do something new and it's uncomfortable. But then it won't be an effort, it will be part of you. And that fear that holds you back, that wants you to go back to bed, that wants you to do the things that you don't want to do anymore, It's your old ego. Listen, your ego, your mind, the fear will do everything in its power to avoid discomfort, to avoid you being uncomfortable, okay? And so think of it as a little child who throws a tantrum at you and who's like, no, I don't want to do this. And you're the adult. You're running the show now. The person who you choose to be is running the show now. And so you can catch yourself in those moments when you're going back, and you can actually decide, no, I choose to be something else and change, do something different. Break the pattern. It's okay if you go back, but then you need to realize who you really are and to remember that. And the more you do it, the more you reinforce that new version of you, the more easy it's going to be for you to live that new narrative, that new reality that you want to do, that you want to have, and to reinforce those new habits in your life. The best analogy that I can use for this is going to the gym. At first, you need to train yourself to go, but then it becomes a part of you. Actually, what has helped me as a person, as an individual, building new habits and staying consistent with my new habits is actually exercising. When I exercise, when I go to the gym, I feel that it's a place where I train myself to get over the past ego that wants to be comfortable and not do anything, you know? I can get past that at the gym or when I exercise. Everything is like that. Everything is training yourself to do something new and also getting your needs met. The needs part is the most crucial thing you need to understand in order to change your habits. You meet your needs differently, the habits change. I hope that you liked this video, that you could take something valuable from it. If you liked it, please put it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.